Okay, here I am in my little paint booth. I don't know if you can see it that well, but I just put a plastic tarp all around. I've got it all over here so it doesn't get over, and I got the car covered. So it's hopefully pretty good. But here I am working on the hood. I've got the majority of this area that had no paint in this area at all. It was all the way down to metal. Primed it. I'm going through and building it up so that it can be even with this, and then just sanding it down. I was using a 120 to get it down to a certain level, then I'll go up to 220, then I think I have some 320 and 400 grit just to make it nice and smooth. You can see, I don't know if you can tell in here, there's some swirl marks and everything from all of the sanding. I just got to get that down and build that up a little bit with some primer. So, and then all I'm really doing is just this area to build this up, because that was where there was no paint. The rest of it, I'm just going down to the paint, taking off the clear, got it all nicely sanded all down. So I just have to fill this out where it's just even, moving into the other areas of the paint. And then tomorrow I'll be doing the color and clear. All right, next step in this process, I have sanded it with 2000 grit, and I have used a cloth with mineral spirits to clean it off, and then I am going to be starting to paint. I have this all taped off in here, so no overspray. Also not going to have any dust, no wind. That's going to really help out with making sure that I don't get any contaminants in here on the paint.
Okay, sorry about this for the sound. I do have a breathing mask on, so it's going to sound really weird, but I've got all of the actual paint color on. I did 1.5 cans on this, so it'd be probably around, I don't know, I think it was like, I did like 5 coats total. One real light one right at the beginning, and then started to get a little bit heavier on the paint, but just letting it wait, and then in about 15-20 minutes I am going to put on the clear.
All right, now it is finished. So I've got, I think it's going to be right around 5 coats of clear on that, and that's including the original real light one just to get it started. Then I went with 2 a little bit thicker, and then the last 3 were constant wet. And now what I'm doing is I'm actually, I don't want to say baking it, but I've got these lights that produce a lot of heat, so I'm going to have these on this for probably the next couple of hours. I'll move them around from the front to the side to the back and just kind of give it a bake. We'll see how that works. All right, so here it is, the finished product. As you can see, the color match is perfect. Now remember that the CMX, the original paint down here, is all, it hasn't been washed, it hasn't been cleaned. Just took it off and just worked on it after I, without cleaning or buffing out anything. So you can see it's all dirty. But look at this, the paint on this looks great. Now remember, this is somebody, the whole point of this video was to prove that somebody who has no painting experience, I'm not a professional painter, that I don't have a paint booth, and I just used quality spray cans from an actual auto paint store. This is the first time I'm taking it out. It has been in the garage. It was under heat lamps, and hopefully you can see the matching on here, the color, and how good that looks. And what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be buffing out the rest of the car. I am going to be using these items right here. I've got a 5,000 grit pad, and then this compound right here, and I'm going to wet sand it. Got my bucket here for wet sanding. We'll get this all taken care of. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to use my polishing wheel right there. I don't know if you can see it on here, but I've gone through and wet sanded it. It's all cloudy in this area, so taking off a lot of the imperfection. It was kind of like sandpaper. Might do it again. There's some little spots in here, so you can see some high spots right here, some dirt, so I'll try and get those down, and then I will dry it off and then start to compound it. What I'm using is going to be a medium pad, and the ultimate compound on here I've got all taped off so I don't get anything on any of the other areas that we've already done. So we'll start this up and see how it goes. Here we are after the first pass on here. I don't know if you can see it in here, but there's a line right through here. It starts right up here and goes all the way straight down, so you can see it's still cloudy over here. This is the first pass on the compound. Looks a lot better. I still have to go over a couple of spots, but much better. And then after this, we'll go through and start doing the polishing. It is all cleaned up, all the residue removed, and what I'm going to be doing next is putting a ceramic wax on. Okay, so I pulled it out into the sun so you could get a better view of the paint, how the metallic is coming through, how it compares to the original paint job. Now again, and I apologize for saying this over and over again, this is in my garage, makeshift paint booth, rattle cans, and it is two-stage. So just the paint and then the clear after, and then let it harden, compound it or cut it, and then polished it, and then put a ceramic wax on. So here's what the finished product looks like. I am on my next project of painting. After I have painted the C-Max hood right here, as you can see, just got finished doing this. This is a rattle can, kind of like this stuff right here that I bought, right there. And here is the paint. Now, I am going on to the next project, which is the rooftop tent. So the rooftop tent is a RoofNest, and if you can see all here, there is a plastic coating that is coming off the entire piece of the roof, all the back. There's I guess a plastic coating on this too, so it's not painted, it's actually got a plastic on top of it. And I am in the midst of taking it all off, and then I'm going to take it and paint it the same color as actually the truck. And so here you can see some of the pieces that are coming off. This is the plastic. I've got it all over here. It's all over the car. I've been washing it, trying to get it off. So I'm gonna get that taken off. And as you can see right here, there's a whole bunch left on. Been trying to get that off. And I'll paint it, and then we'll go from there. Getting it prepped. It has been sanded and also taped up. I've also got it to where I've done the mineral spirits, drop cheesecloth. I've got these wrapped up right now. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to get those off so that those will stay. Those are metal. But everything else has been cleaned up, taped off. In here you can see, as I get through here, I've got some heat lamps on here, so I'm going to try and bake this on. But what you'll see is, look at that, really nice blue metallic coming through. It looks really, really good on here. And we'll just let it sit like this for the next, let's say 3, 4, 5 hours. And I'll move the lamps around just so that they get heat throughout the entire area. And here is the RoofNest top, the camper's rooftop tent that I've got all done. This was done during that time. Very, very nice, easy to do. I'm going to tell you, I probably saved myself several $1,000s by going through and doing these myself. Now, are they perfect? No, but you know what? They are really, really nice and a lot better than what they were before. I am going to put a couple of things, just because, I don't know if you can tell in this, right here, there's a little bit of area that I didn't really get as much paint and clear on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take black vinyl and make it look like it has a little piece right here for protection, and I'll put it on all 4 corners. All right, well, hopefully you like the little things that I've done. Hopefully you get some inspiration as to some of the things that you can do on a weekend and paint on your own. All right, thanks a lot. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up, and if you would subscribe. I'm going to be having some more videos